Okay, I'm not going to put it full screen because I've been having troubles recording it. So I just want to do the overall summary of what we learned today and how we can make connections. So I'll just keep it open over here. So we know the radius is half of the diameter, and then the diameter is 2 times the radius. So here's some examples for you. If we know that the radius is going to be half, and we are given a diameter of 6, that's saying 6 divided by half, that's 3. Or sometimes you don't even have to show the work because you know what half of it is automatically. So what's half of 8? We know that's 4. What's half of 10? That's 5. Okay, so that's finding the radius from the diameter. So now we're going to do the opposite. We have to find the diameter if the radius is the following. So now we're going to be multiplying it by 2. It's just double. So what's double 2? That's 4. What's double 5? That's 10. What's double 7? That's 14. That's where it's coming from. Okay? So now the next part we're going to look over is how do we figure out diameter if we're given circumference? So I'm going to go back and forth between the slides just to show it. So let's say our circumference is 53 centimeters, but we don't know the diameter. So what do we have to do? So first, I kind of want to break down the formulas for you. If we want to figure out what D is, that means we want to have D isolated on its own. Right now, in the first formula we are given, it's currently being multiplied by pi. So we can't just move this to the side and pretend it doesn't exist. No, that can't happen. So in order to get rid of the pi, you have to pay attention to what operation is happening right now. And we have to do the opposite. So if it's being multiplied right now, in order to keep D alone, we're going to have to do the opposite. And what's the opposite of multiplying? You got it, it's division. So if we were to divide pi on both sides, because what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Pi divided by pi is just 1. So that's the same as saying 1 times D. You don't even need the 1 there. So technically, now we have D all on its own, and we just figured out the formula to figure out the diameter. We have C over pi is equal to D. So now that we know that and understand where it comes from, all we have to do is plug it in. I wrote the formula over here at the top. We know our circumference is 53 centimeters. If you divide it by pi, or 3.14, you get a diameter of 16.88 centimeters. So now you might be wondering, okay, well, how do I know if that's true? All you have to do is check. So if we are using the formula again to figure out circumference, that circumference is equal to pi times diameter. So let's go, diameter is, if our diameter is 16.88 and we multiply it by pi, just remember that the pi digits are infinite, so it might not be exactly 53, but it will come very close to it. And if you do that on the calculator, it will be that. Okay, so now let's figure out, how do we figure out radius if we are given circumference? So this is exactly the same as last time. You could even just use this and then just divide it by 2. Or if you want to figure out a specific formula for it, I wrote it at the top over here, and I'm going to explain it to you. So circumference is equal to 2 pi r. So this is like saying it is being multiplied. Just because it's not written doesn't mean that it's not being multiplied. So once again, we want to figure out what is r on its own. So we know it is currently being multiplied by 2 and times pi. So again, what is the opposite of multiplication? It is division. So all you have to do is divide, divide. That's where you get the formula. And then formula here's again, once you plug it all in, your answer is 2, and then you can check. So if you go C is equal to 2 times pi times r, you will figure it out, and you will find out that it is correct. And there you go.